Okay, I see Carlos. Hola.
Hello, hello.
Hola, ¿cómo está usted?
Muy bien. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Of course, we're doing our international section in the morning because we know you have a time difference and you guys don't want to be on at 8 o'clock at night. Although you probably
Yeah,
a lot of fun at 8 o'clock at night, something
exactly,
tells
exactly.
me. Carlos. So Carlos Lahoz, yes,
Yes.
is coming to us from Barcelona, Spain. He has been working for HP for over 20 years, but now he's responsible for the industrial print sustainability strategy with the ambition of driving industrial printing into reduced emissions and a net positive impact. Now, Carlos and I had a deep discussion before we outlined what this conversation was going to be. And I think anybody who pays any attention to me knows that I am very skeptical when it comes to sustainability claims, which is not the same as having a sustainability mission. But the claims are not always they're not always truthful, and sometimes they're just part of a marketing strategy. But I can tell you from living it firsthand that is not what it is for HP. And as a matter of fact, whenever I speak about it and I hear people going crazy, I'm like, you need to look and listen to what HP is saying and how they are tackling this. They are not pushing aside that we are part of a manufacturing industry that creates, to your point, industrial print. Industrial is not a sustainable phrase, right? A word. So I want to first, ask you why this is so important to you, and then, tell everybody about your mission with HP, please.
Yes, and why it's important, I think everybody is now realizing, no? And everybody as individuals, and we are seeing these climate events more extreme happening this last summer, just very recently. But then also consumers getting concerned. 84% of consumers are concerned about the environment. 63% are making changes in their daily lives, and 34% are willing to pay more. So clearly, sustainability, it's important for people and for consumers, and of course for the world. No? And as you said, I liked it very, very much. No? We are in an industrial business that we need to acknowledge we are not sustainable today. No? And, but we still believe in the value of print. So print has a value. So we want to continue printing because it delivers value. But then what we want, our aim, and you're talking about our mission, our aim is to minimize the impact to the environment that we do with environmental printing. And as a leader, we also want to lead the whole industry into minimizing the impact. So this is our vision. We want to reduce the impact of print. We still believe in print. Print has a value. We don't want to get rid of the value of print, but minimizing its impact and eventually delivering a positive impact. And we'll talk later about it.
Yeah. So, most of the time when we hear about sustainability, people go right to the paper. It's recyclable. And but that can't be where it ends. And HP doesn't make paper either, but you use paper. So I really respect that what you're looking at is how to make that one piece of paper or that roll of paper that goes through that press as sustainable as possible from start to finish. So can you explain the strategy of how you're going to make that happen, and how you're getting your printers on board with this mission?
Yes, so sure. As you mentioned, the impact of printing, the biggest factor is the media, the substrate that we print on, and we have printers that print on paper, on some plastic films and materials. So paper is the key factor, followed by energy, followed by the inks. So these are the top three offenders of print that account for more than 90% of the impact of printing. For the medias themselves, what we are working is with media vendors, identifying more sustainable medias, which mean that they are coming from renewable sources. And paper is a great example of renewable sources if coming from certified forests. But same for plastic films, they are renewable plastics. Then also all these substrates that can be recycled afterwards. So the paper that can be recycled, the plastic films, if they are monomaterial, we have compostable materials. And so those materials have a lower environmental impact and are preferable. How do we promote those materials? So what we have is our media locator system in all our product portfolio, from latex, indigos, page whites, where we are highlighting sustainability credentials of recommended medias, of qualified medias. So this is how we are helping our customers to identify and to use more sustainable medias. I'll talk later maybe on well, I can talk now, on another thing that we are developing now. So it's the ability of calculating the environmental footprint of a print job, of a particular print. So you were mentioning at the beginning about greenwashing, and so the world is now shifting into data. And data is what it helps us drive decisions and drive actions. So this is a trend that we are 100% supporting. We are developing solutions that help us measure, compare, take action, and then choose more sustainable medias. So medias and solutions in general.
Okay, so we decided we were going to have a very honest conversation here because we need to. HP is an ink company, right? You make a lot of ink. How are you looking at that in the sustainability conversation?
Yes, as I mentioned on the three biggest contributors of impact of print. No? So media is one, but then the second one is the energy, and the third one is the ink. Energy is used to dry the ink or cure or evaporate, whatever. No? So in reality, ink has a lot to say on the environmental impact, both on the energy and on the ink. On the energy side, it's been a vector for innovation, and the last 20 years we've had lots of examples of improving energy efficiency, and I can mention some. No? For example, latex, there is a well-known HP technology introduced 12 years ago. It was introduced at that time, but today the latest latex printers consume between 3 to 5 times less energy to print the same amount. So energy as ink developments that improve energy efficiency, it's an example. Also in the industrial segment, we have the A2200 that we introduced less than a year ago, saving 60%. In just one generation, saving 60% of energy consumption. So energy, new inks that require less energy are key. No? The other one is the ink efficiency itself. So if we need less ink to produce the same output, and say, then we save transportation. So we need to transport less ink to the consumers. We need to waste less supplies, less waste. So it's a big advantage. So ink efficiency, it's a big factor. And then of course the ink chemistry. No, and ink chemistry, it's a big world. Chemistry it's a complex world. That is where a lot of the regulations are taking place. And what we are doing is we're tracking regulations, anticipating problems. Once science discovers that a new chemical could be potentially harming, we detect that, and then we are reformulating our inks to avoid the use of that chemical. So, and we've done this during the last years quite often. I hope I answered the question.
No, you absolutely did. People are making decisions about moving forward. They need to be able to have honest conversations with their customers. And if their customers happen to be advertising agencies and brands, they are going to want data proof every step of the way that you are walking the walk, as we say in the United States. And HP does. If you go to your booths at trade shows, you actually have signage up now that says, we're not using carpet, where, we are, some of the presses now, you're actually reclaiming them to create presses out of old presses, which is really important. And you are developing a pilot program for print service providers. So can you speak about that, please?
Yeah, so one of the things that we realized is when you evaluate the impacts of print, again, going back to the same three things, paper, energy, and inks, we can control the inks, but we don't control the energy that the customers use. We can control if we make it more efficient or not. Yes, we're working on that. And then we cannot control the substrate. So if we really want to reduce the impact of print, then there are things that are out of our control. And what we realize is that most of the impacts are in the PSP, are in the printer's house. Printers are the ones that buy the paper. The printers are the ones that consume a lot of energy. The printers are the ones that use inks and generate lots of waste. So this is how we got to the realization that if we really wanted to make a difference, we need to collaborate. No, and this is yeah. In HP, also we're talking honest. No, so in HP, we are a big corporation. It's always difficult to collaborate with a big corporation. No, we typically do unidirectional and with reactively supported customers, but we haven't been proactively collaborating. So this is what we are piloting, and we are starting as we speak on a program where we want to share data, we want to share knowledge with our customers so they can have all the necessary data to take the right decisions, but also trying to help them, to guide them with some assessments that they can understand where they are in total or in absolute terms, but also relative to their peers, and then help them with recommendations, how we do this. No? And of course, then we will have additional services, no? that they can have these calculator services, these offsetting services eventually, even waste management services. So all this thing is what we are piloting just now. Drupa, it's the next milestone for this project, not to move from pilot into something more scalable. But yes, I'm very excited about it because I fully believe on collaboration, data. These are the words that will really enable this thing that you were skeptical about, no? About the sustainability of print. These are the two words, data and collaboration, that are different to what we had 10 years ago. So I think 10 years ago, which I was also involved in this topic, we were lacking a little bit the data portion. No? So now it's clear. We don't talk greenwash. We give me the data, tell me how to do it, and help me do it. And the new situation.
But I honestly think it's because the world has changed. You know, we now realize that it can't just be a phrase you use in marketing. It has to be something that you are actively pursuing. And, data and collaboration certainly are part of that, but so is education. And more important is effort. This is not just going to fall into somebody's lap, but this is what I will say as a print customer who used to work in an advertising agency. If you can get this under control and you can tell me that if I print with you, I will have less of an environmental impact. I'm not saying no. Carlos, maybe one day you can convince me that there's no environmental impact. But you've mentioned so many things now that make a difference. And people always forget about, how things get places, and, just the fact that if you're delivering less ink to people, you're contributing to a sustainable world. I would tell everybody to pay attention to HP, if they're speaking at events, if there's articles in magazines, if they're doing podcasts with me or anything along those lines, they are truly have taken this on. So, Carlos, how can people get involved with the pilot program if it's possible now? And how can they learn more? Do you have a special place on your website dedicated to any of this?
Yeah, the pilot, as every good pilot, starts small. So we already have a set of selected customers from different segments, different sizes, also from different types. So we have customers that are experts on sustainability and that know more than we do. We have customers that are beginning their journey in sustainability, and we are even engaging customers that don't believe in sustainability. because I think what we want is to have a program that serves them all. So for the pilot, we are closed. Let's say if someone is really interested, just contact me. We don't have yet anything on the webpage. Again, we don't want to. It's not a marketing thing what we are doing, so it's not on the page. There's no press release. I'm sharing here in confidence, but it's as you said, no. So in the past, it has been a marketing thing. In fact, when I was in sustainability 6 or 8 years ago, I was in the marketing department. I'm now in the strategy team. So it's a completely different objective. So again, for the pilot, closed. But if you are interested, just contact me. We can have a conversation. Otherwise, wait for the Drupa and pre-Drupa timeframe where we'll be announcing more details.
Yeah, I would also suggest, if I might, to if you are part of able to participate, to find your local regional D-Scoop organization. And certainly this is a big topic that is going on there. They have a brand new platform. It's really cool. You can speak to everybody. Who knows? Maybe there'll be sustainability with Carlos every Wednesday at noon. So Carlos, you are actually going to go host a breakout room now. If anyone is interested in learning more about HP's sustainability mission, it's what I will call it, and hook up with Carlos, you can do that in the breakout room. Thank you. Gracias, senor. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Let's roll a commercial and we will be back with the next session.
Bye. Take care.
Ciao.